Hey Sugar Bee. So I thought I would show you how to do dehydrated apples and dehydrated bananas today. So I've already started on doing the apples, but I wanted to show you. So of course you're just going to peel your apple. Of course wash it, scrub it with baking soda so it gets off all the wax that they put on it in the store and any pesticides, and then you're just going to peel it. And then I'm just going to cut this apple in half. And we're going to core it. What are we going to do with the cores? Well, we're going to put them in this here jar. And then in a minute, I'm going to show you how to make apple cider vinegar. So I like to cut these up in these little wedges that are thin because I'll use these to make apple pie with at Thanksgiving. So I'm dropping the slices into a bowl of store-bought lemon juice that's concentrated, straight in there, no water. And you want to make sure that you get them fully saturated with the lemon juice. Give me just a second, I'll be done with this. And put all the seeds in that jar too for the apple cider vinegar. The only thing that goes to waste when doing these apples is the stems. I cut the stems off, you can't use those. Yeah, and the vinegar. I mean, you probably could. I've never done it. That's the only thing I throw away though. So, there we go. Those apples are sliced up. And then we're just gonna stir them around in the lemon juice really well. Let's move that out of the way for a minute. And then we're gonna stack them on the tray. And as you can see, I've already been working on these apples and they're staying nice and white. These are Granny Smith apples, which you guys know is my favorite apple in a pie. That and Gala. And then you just spread them out on these trays. And I do have the mesh on here, although you wouldn't have to because these are bigger pieces. So I'm just spreading them out on the tray and making them all fit on here. Just getting them all on there. Put some over here, I guess, because they have to be in a single layer. It's important that they're in a single layer. There we go. All right. Now the apples are done and ready to go in the dehydrator. But Mom, where are the peels? Let me show you. So the peels have been washed and cut off and dipped in the apple or the lemon juice. And then I'm gonna put them in the dehydrator. Because they're thinner than the apples or the bananas, they'll be at the top because I'm using a stack dehydrator. Around the dehydrator, those will go at the top because they don't take as much time to dry. So the heating element in the Nesco GardenMaster is at the bottom. So things at the bottom will get more heat than things at the top. So we want the things at the bottom, which will be the apples, to get the most heat. Then the bananas will be in the stack, and then the apple peelings on the top. Okay, let me wash my hands and set up, and I'll show you how to do the bananas. Be right back. Okay, welcome back. So I have most of the bananas processed. I saved one so that I can show you how to do it. Now, when you're going to dehydrate bananas, you have to get green bananas. You can't dehydrate, well you can, dehydrate ones that are more ripe or yellow or even ones that are more brown. But they get really sticky because the sugars come to the surface. So when you're going to dehydrate bananas, you want to get green ones. Okay, and the green ones are really hard to peel, right? So I'm gonna show you a trick on how to open them. So using a small paring knife, I cut the top, not completely off, just part of the way through, and I peel that back. And halfway down, it's gonna rip, but that's okay. Then I cut off the bottom completely. Then I take my index finger, let's put the knife down, take my index finger or my thumb, there we go, and I run it down that seam. And then the banana will just fold right out. All right, now what do we do with it? Well, we're gonna slice it. You can use a mandolin if you prefer. I think it's faster with a knife. So we're just slicing it into the lemon juice. You wanna try to get the slices the same thickness, which I never do, but I aim for it. All right, once they're in the juice, you wanna stir them around real good, make sure they're good and covered with the lemon juice. Now be careful and not to slice them too thin because they'll break up when you're trying to put them onto the trays. They do have to have some sustenance to them. Now I'm using the spoon to spread these out on this tray because earlier today I cut my right hand and the lemon juice burns really bad. Normally I'd be in here with both my hands getting these things out here, getting them spread out. All right, now we have those on the tray. So this tray is ready to go into the dehydrator. Now, what are we gonna do with this last tray? Well, if you have a garden or house plants, don't throw away your banana peels. You just wanna rip them up into pieces and lay them out on these trays. Actually cut them first because it can be a pain. Cut them up in pieces, lay them out on the tray. You do not have to dip them in lemon juice because what we're going to do with them, it won't matter if they're brown or not. So why would we dehydrate banana peels? Well, most of the potassium in a banana is in the peel. And if you have a garden, as soon as everything starts to put off flowers or like your onions start bulbing or your garlic, it needs potassium. So we're going to dehydrate these, grind them up, and then you can sprinkle them around your garden. It's free fertilizer. Now, I live in an apartment, as you know, so I probably am not going to do all these banana peels. However, I do have plants. I am growing some things for us to have in a limited space that they let us have. So I'm going to use this to fertilize my plants this year. One more. All right. Now, once we get all this on here, there we go. All right, all this is ready to go in the dehydrator. Okay, let me wash my hands and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Hands are all clean again. So we're gonna stack these trays in the order that they'll dry the best in the dehydrator. So I'm gonna set the banana peels aside for a moment. And we're gonna work our way down here to the apples. We're gonna want the apples on the bottom because they're thicker and denser. Then the bananas. Then the banana peels. Then the apple peels. And this will go into the dehydrator at 125 degrees. The apple peel should be done in probably like 6 to 8 hours, so I'll check on those. The rest of this should take at least 12 hours. All right, let me set this out to the side and I'll show you what we're gonna do with the apple cores. Okay, we're back. All right, so I've put all my apple cores into this quart jar, right? So what am I gonna do with this? Well, we're going to make apple cider vinegar. How you do that is apple cores. You can put apple peelings. If you have apples that are kind of like puny or starting to feel mealy, you can use those too. They're great for making apple cider vinegar. Then to the jar, we're gonna add 1/2 cup of sugar. Now, let me get my funnel. Okay. That'll make it much less messy. 1/2 cup of sugar. And remember, I use unbleached regular granulated sugar, not white sugar, but white sugar works great too. Okay, and then to this jar, we're going to fill it up with spring water. Do not use tap water or distilled water. It has to be spring water. I don't know why, that's just what it is. I can't open this because I'm not that strong. Okay, one day. We're gonna fill it up with the spring water. Up to the 1-inch mark on the jar so that there's space for you to stir. Okay. Now, we're going to take a coffee filter and a rubber band. And this is going to start to set on our cabinet. These two are vinegars that I have been working on, and as soon as they're done, I'm going to do a follow-up video with the whole process. But I wanted to show you how to start the apple cider vinegar because we don't want to waste anything. Remember, zero waste kitchen. All right, sugar bees. Oh, also, don't throw away your lemon juice. You can funnel it back into the bottle and stick it in the refrigerator and use it for other stuff you're dehydrating, because other fruits and vegetables have to be dipped in lemon juice too. Or you can just use it right now and make some lemonade. What could it hurt? All right, sugar bee. I hope you guys learned something today. I sure love you. Bye.